actually start on our backs this morning. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. The willingness to use any props that you need to get comfortable. So whether that's a blanket underneath your head, if you're not on a rug, if you're on a hardwood floor, maybe something underneath the sacrum would feel nice. Just a little extra cushion. And once you've settled in on your back and found the position that feels supportive to you, become aware of the breath. And as you are also aware of the breath, just check in with the physical body and notice what's going on for you this morning. Checking in from head to toe. And in particular, kind of check in with the back and the low back. And if you have your legs extended, how might it feel to bend the knees instead? If your low back is feeling sensitive here, then bending the knees can be very helpful for that. And then when we bend our knees, we can take the feet a little wider than the hips, bring the knees together, and feel the support that they provide leaning up against each other. And if that's not comfortable for you, just find a position that is. Position that is allowing the body to drop into your mat, into the earth, into gravity. And from here, we're going to take 5 deep breaths together. So when you're ready, the inhale is full and deep all the way up to the top of the lungs. Pause for a moment in that fullness. And then just slowly, very slowly, allow the breath to release and relaxing even more into this moment. And then when you're ready again, deep inhale in all the way up, fill up, full breath in, hold for a moment. And exhale and relax a little bit more, noticing any tightness or tension exiting the body. And again, deep, full breath in all the way to the top. Hold at the top of that inhale. And exhale, surrender. Just slowly, mindfully letting the breath out. And a 4th round, inhale deeply. Hold at the top of the breath. And slowly release, let go, surrender. One more breath in, one more deep, full breath in. Hold at the top. And slowly, mindfully let it go. And just recognizing who's on the mat physically, emotionally, energetically, mentally, spiritually. Just connecting in with you. May we find a loving acceptance of whoever that is, that we're not here to fix anything. Be open to allowing this practice to unfold perfectly for you. And your heart and mind open to the gifts that it may have for you this morning. Bring your awareness back into the breath. I'm going to invite you to place your palms on your belly and deliberately bring the breath into the belly, allowing it to expand on inhale, just gently, and softly release and contract back towards the spine on the exhale. We're taking the breath into about an 85% of our capacity, so it's deeper than we would normally take without consciously breathing, but it's not to its deepest extent. So it's comfortable. And we're just expanding and contracting, or opening and releasing the belly with each breath. So breathing into our emotional center. And I just invite you to feel the practice this morning without overthinking or analyzing any of it. Feel into whatever emotions arise for you. And to be present breath by breath. Release the belly breath after the next exhale. Your hands, your palms can stay there if that's comfortable for you, or you can move them off to the side, palms up, shoulders drop back, heart is open. Follow the breath in and out. And we're going to work with samavriti, or a ratio breath here this morning to begin our practice together. And so become aware of the count of breath. We're going to inhale for a 4 count, pause for 2, and exhale for 4. And I'm going to bring you into this count to begin with. So wherever you are with your breath, go ahead and slowly exhale, let the breath out. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, pause. If it's comfortable, we're going to increase to 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. If it's comfortable for you, we're going to increase to 6. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pause. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and pause. Continue with this on your own, counting silently to yourself. For some, you may want to go back down to 5 or 4. For others, you may want to increase to 7 or 8. It's just important to remember that as we work with any pranayama practice in yoga, that it's comfortable. So nothing should feel forced, shouldn't feel stressful or creating a strain of any kind. Stay with this even breath as you rest your attention in your heart center, Anahata chakra, your energetic heart. And imagine the heart taking in and giving back with each breath, creating a balance between receiving and giving. And allow this even breath with the energy of giving and receiving to guide you or be your anchor throughout this practice this morning. So as your mind may wander, this can be your anchor point to come back. Evenly breathing in and out through the heart, receiving on inhale, giving back on exhale, creating a balance with who we are and all that we do. So let's begin to warm up just a bit by bringing the knees into the chest. Place your hands on your knees. Stay with that nice even breath. Exhale, pull the knees in close. Inhale, arm lengths away. Now the movement here is rather small, and so there is a tendency to start to quicken the breath. And what I'm going to invite you to do instead is to keep that breath slow and extended and simply slow down the movement to match that breath. So the breath is guiding you instead of the movement. Notice what's going on in the physical body this morning as we invite it into the practice. We want to invite our bodies in slowly, mindfully, compassionately. Not here to force ourselves to go anywhere we're not ready or warmed up for yet. And here we can notice a little bit maybe through the hip flexors, the low back and sacrum. Maybe you're noticing a little bit in the shoulders and the neck. And from here, we'll start to move into knee circles. And taking the knees in one direction several times. So you might circle the knees around 2 or 3 times for the inhale and then again on the exhale. Or maybe you're taking the circle really slow. One time around is enough for the inhale and the exhale. Just find your rhythm with this. Make sure you switch directions. And then one more here we could do is just taking the knees and circling them wide. And then from here, let's place our feet in the floor hip width apart. We're just going to do our pelvic tilt. So tucking the tailbone under, flatten the low back into the mat, and then reverse that, creating a little bit of a back bend. You're just going to feel a little space between the lumbar spine and the floor. Exhale, tuck under. Inhale, a little bit of a back bend. Posterior tilt of the pelvis flattens the low back. Anterior tip of the pelvis creates a little bit of a back bend. And notice the breath here, so slowing the movement down to match the breath. Notice if you're pressing into your feet, and can you relax that a little bit and begin to generate this movement more from the core. We're going to rock the pelvis to neutral. Bring our feet hip width apart, so as wide as your mat. Just kind of feel that. And on exhale, release the knees to one side. Now we can open the arms wide here, palms up. The knees release to one side. Everything's wide, knees and feet are wide. Inhale, just the top knee, opening up the legs as wide as they'll allow. The bottom knee eventually follows on its own as you exhale over to the other side. Inhale, allow the knees to open wide. Exhale, and release them to the other side. So this movement's a little larger, so it might be easier to match the movement with that slow, extended, even breath. And then from here, we can add on the head if you'd like to, rotating it in the opposite direction the knees are going. If you would prefer to keep the head still, you can just keep the gaze directly up to the ceiling. When you've gone equally to both sides, we'll bring the knees back upright, feet hip width apart. So let's do one more movement here. We're going to come into just our 3-part moving bridge. So arms by your side, palms down. Feet are parallel, heels maybe about 6 inches from the buttocks. And on an inhale, we're going to start to peel the spine up off the floor. Press into the feet now, lifting the hips up and the arms reach overhead. If you have any shoulder issues, you can bring the arms just straight up to the ceiling and not all the way to the floor above you. Exhale, lower just the hips. Arms stay there. And then we'll inhale, peel the spine back up off the floor again, lift the hips. And exhale, arms and hips back together. Inhale, hips up, arms overhead. Slowing this down. Exhale, lower the hips. Inhale the hips up. And exhale, arms and hips back down together. Okay, I'll do one more, explaining it with you. Inhale the hips up, arms overhead. Leave the arms there as you exhale and lower the hips. Inhale the hips back up. Exhale everything together. So just go a couple more rounds on your own, and if you change it up a little bit, that's okay. Right? We're just connecting movement and breath, inviting the body into the practice, getting to know who exactly it is that we are inviting into the practice today, as we're continuously changing. We'll go one more. When you finish that one, just pause in this neutral position and feel the practice so far. Just notice how the body's responding to the breath and movement. Maybe notice the nervous system. Maybe the mind's beginning to quiet down a bit. Whatever it is you're recognizing. Go ahead and roll to one side. And we're going to find our way to standing here this morning pretty quickly, but we're going to do so by finding our way into down dog, just very briefly into down dog. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here today. And then you're going to walk your feet to the middle of your mat and then let your hands meet your feet. So we're going to find our way into the center of our mat here for a little bit. For now, just hang out in Uttanasana, forward fold. Palms can be on the floor, fingertips create a little lift of the heart, fists. If you have a block, you're welcome to place the hands on a block here. Allow the spine to drape over the thighs, release the head, let the neck relax.
You might even let the shoulders hang here on this first round. Bend the knees as much as you need to so that you can feel only a soft, gentle stretch in the back of the legs. Okay, so we don't want any discomfort or pain. Just breathing, 2 more deep breaths here, nice and even. And from here, we'll take our hands to our hips. Go ahead and bend the knees slightly or even quite a bit, like you're almost going to sit into a chair. So we bring in the quadriceps, one of the largest muscle groups of the body, and press down through the feet, lengthen the spine, engage your core when we find our way up to standing. Tadasana, mountain pose. So placing or having both feet underneath you in parallel. And so just kind of take a look there. And lift and spread the toes, just creating a larger platform from which to stand. We're anchoring through both feet equally. So notice if you tend to weight on the right or the left. And then from here, anchoring through the 4 points of the feet, which are the mound of the big toes and pinky toes and either side of the heel. So we should have a slight lift in the arch of our feet, right? So if we tend to pronate or flatten, it really creates that inner spiral of the thighs, the knees drop in, it can create knee issues down the road, right? So with those who tend to pronate, you're going to want to put a little more energy to the outer edges of your feet. Those who tend to have really high arches, you're going to have more of a bow-legged tendency or the knees opening wide, which can create issues. And so you'll focus on really anchoring down to the mounds of the big toe and inner heels. Okay, so we just find that balance, that stability. And we're going to come into some movement here to continue warming up. So find that breath again. Inhaling evenly with the exhale, about an 85% of capacity. And then on our inhale, the arms will reach wide and up. Maybe the gaze shifts up if the neck feels safe there. Bring the palms together down through center and exhale, fold forward with a nice long spine all the way down. Hands to your shins. Inhale halfway, lengthen the arms. Shoulder blades onto the back body, engage the core. Exhale, fold forward. Reach the hands behind you, glue the full length of your arms to your side body. Engage the core, reach forward through the crown of the head, lifting the heart as you come up to standing, arms wide, and inhale all the way back up. Exhale down through center. We're just going to move through this. Inhale halfway. Exhale, fold. Arms by your side, lengthen the spine, engage the core. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, right back down again. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, back to standing. This time, exhale, palms into the heart. Pause here. And breathe. We're going to add on, coming into our half salutations. Inhale, reach up. Take a hold of one wrist. And exhale to the opposite side. Really lengthen both side bodies. So even the side body we're folding into, we can imagine we're lifting up and over one of those big rubber exercise balls. So rather than just sinking into it, reach and lengthen even through that side body you're folding into. Inhale, back to standing, and then grab a hold of the opposite wrist and exhale to the other side. Pause, just take a couple of breaths, feel into this side. Inhale, back upright.
Exhale, lower the arms, and you can either take your hands to your hips or your palms to your low back. Draw the elbows back, shoulders down, lift through the sternum. Okay, so we're lifting through the heart as we slightly tuck the tailbone. So we don't want to drop into a really big anterior tilt here or a back bend, right? So we don't want to crunch into our low back. So slight tuck of the tail with a lifting of the heart. So we're lengthening in the spine, even in a back bend. And then on your exhale, we're going to run the hands down the back of the legs, fold forward again, the long spine all the way down. Inhale halfway. We're just going to combine all of this. Exhale, fold. Inhale up to standing, reach up. Take a hold of one wrist and exhale to the other side, or to the opposite side. Inhale, reach up. And exhale to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the arms. Bring your palms to your sacrum or low back, or hands to your hips. Inhale, small lift of the heart. Exhale, fold forward. And again, inhale halfway. And exhale, fold. Inhale, come up. Reach up, take a hold of one wrist. And exhale to the opposite side. Inhale. And exhale to the other side. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, lower the hands, hips or low back. Inhale, small lift of the heart, standing baby cobra. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen the spine, engage the core, come back up to standing. Bring the palms together overhead and into the heart. Exhale, pause here, samastitihi, equal standing. And take a moment to check in again. Creating these moments to pause, listen, and feel into the choices we're making for ourselves this morning. Notice how the body is responding, the heart. Good. So we're going to go ahead and release the hands. Remain where you are in the middle of your mat. We're going to play here a little bit. So from here, we're going to come into down dog by walking the hands forward, feet back. So we're just going to start it from the middle of our mats here this morning. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Walk the hands forward and the feet back. So just finding your down dog from here, just becoming familiar with where you are in your mat, and just pedal the feet. Let's take this one for our walk, right? Bend the knees, shift through the hips, move through the spine, just kind of see what's going on through the shoulders. You can circle the head around. Keep the breath flowing. And then we'll go ahead and release to the knees and back into a child's pose, exhaling. So making ourselves smaller, we let the breath out. Inhale, come up to hands and knees, curl the toes under. Exhale, down dog. And one more time, just kind of walk it out. And then we're going to find our way back to the middle of the mat. So walk your feet halfway up and meet your hands to your feet. And then again, either arms by your side like we've been doing, or you're welcome to open them wide, engage the core, lengthen the spine as you come up. Inhaling, exhale into the heart. So let's find our way back down again. Inhale, reach up. You can either bring the hands down through center, or this time maybe it would feel nice to exhale, open wide. Walk the hands forward, feet back. And now we're going to come to the knees and bring your right foot forward. So we're in a low lunge here. And let's do our lunge rock. So inhale, we bend into that front knee, just softly drop into the left hip flexor. Exhale, we rock back. Maybe the right toes come off the floor as we straighten that leg. Inhale, rock forward. Heart lifts, gaze lifts. Exhale, rock back. And a sense of drawing inward. Inhale, we open. And exhale, we go within. 2 more. Inhale forward. And exhale, rock back. And now we're going to come in just finding a lunge here for a moment. So low lunge will keep the knee in the floor. Okay, so I'm going to add a little options for strength work today in our standing poses. So you can stay here in a low lunge, come on up and bring your hands to your heart. That's option 1. If you would like to come into a high lunge, curl those left toes under. You can try this without the assistance of your hands, but of course if you need them, use them, and come up, bringing that knee up off the floor into a high lunge. Press that heel back slightly, and nice steady breaths here. High or low lunge, you choose. This is your practice. And notice the breath, so maintaining that nice even flow of breath. And then whether you're high or low lunge, the next option is to interlace the hands behind you, shoulders down and back, and then begin to fold forward over that front thigh. Take 3 breaths here. If this does not serve you, go back to the starting point. Go back to where you were with the hands at your heart. Release the hands into the earth, into your mat. Step that right foot back. Walk that out. And we'll play on the other side. And this time, if you'd like to, you can step your left foot forward from down dog, or come to the knees first and bring it forward. So that's up to you. Left foot forward, right knee into the mat. Once here, then we'll start our lunge rock. Exhale as we draw back. Straightening that left leg or moving towards that. Inhale, lift the heart and the head. Gaze forward, softly release into that right hip flexor. 3 more. Exhale back, take your time. Inhale forward. And the next time we inhale, we're going to find our way into the lunge of preference. We can keep the right knee in the floor with a low lunge. Bring the hands to your heart. And then for those of you who want to, you can bring that right knee up off the floor into a high lunge. Breath is steady. Breathing into that idea of strength and resilience. So that willingness to challenge ourselves a little bit. believe in ourselves. And then the next option is to interlace the hands behind you, shoulders down and back, heart open, as you fold over that front thigh, whether you're in a high or low lunge. Take 2 more breaths here. Exhale, the hands come into the mat. Press back into down dog, walk that out a bit. Bring both knees into the mat and into a child's pose. Draw back. Now you can rest your forehead on your hands. You can, if you have a fascia ball, you can rest your head on one of those balls. Arms can be extended and forehead to the floor. Lots of options. Breathe into what feels right for you. Breathe into the back body. And then we'll find our way into down dog once again. Exhaling. You want to walk it just a bit, that would feel good, that's fine. And then again, finding our way into the middle of our mat. So walking the feet halfway. Hands come halfway to meet the feet. Forward fold. And either arms by your side or out wide. Inhale to come up. And bring the palms together overhead and into the heart. So breathe here, feel into the practice. Good. Inhale, reach up. We're going to go through our half salutations. Take a hold of one wrist. Exhale over to the opposite side. Inhale, back up. And exhale over to the other side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, standing baby cobra. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, release. Inhale to standing. And into the heart, exhale. The breath as our anchor. Our heart's open. Good. So we're going to find our way into another standing pose, but we're again playing from the middle of our mat just to change things up a little bit. So inhale, reach up, and either out wide or down through center. Exhale, fold forward. So we're going to step our left foot up just a little towards the front of our mats. Right foot steps back in a position for a warrior one. So the foot's at about a 45-degree angle. And then from here, you're going to go ahead and inhale up. Bring the arms overhead, bending into that front knee. Hearts forward, hips forward. Now you have the option to find different expressions with the upper body. Arms can be in traditional form here, straight overhead. Maybe you prefer to open them into goalpost arms, really anchoring those shoulder blades onto your back, engaging the upper back muscles. You're welcome to keep them at your heart or interlace them behind you. So feel into this. There's no right way. What's resonating with you this morning, right? So changing it up as to what feels best for you today. And breathe into that. Nice, steady, even breathing. And then on your exhale, fold. And we're now going to take the right foot and step it all the way up to the front of your mat to meet your left foot. In your forward fold still. Just getting into it from different positions, playing around this morning. Left foot steps back, 45-degree angle. Right, so finding your stance. When you feel stable, use your core. Press down through that front foot. Inhale and come up. Warrior one on the opposite side. Coming into it just a little differently. How deeply you bend into that front knee, of course, is going to challenge you more. If that's what you're looking for today, you can minimize it by having it bent only a little bit. What's your energy level today? What serves you? Anchor the back edge of that left foot. And then again, finding your expression on this side, and it doesn't have to be the same as the other side. And breathe deeply here. Nice, long, even breaths. On your exhale, fold forward, step the left foot up. You're at the front of your mat now in a forward fold. And just take a couple breaths here, hanging out. And then on our next inhale, either arms by your side or out wide, engage the core. Lengthen the spine, come up to standing, palms together overhead and into the heart. So we'll find our way into our half salutation again. Inhale, reach up. Take a hold of one wrist and exhale to the opposite side. Inhale, back up again. And exhale to the opposite side. Inhale, back up. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, standing baby cobra, lift of the heart. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. And exhale, release. Inhale, up to standing. And exhale into the heart. Pause and feel. Just feel the echo of the practice so far. So just notice where you are on your mat. Let's come to the front of the mat. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, fold forward. We're going to step our right foot all the way back. We're going to open those toes to a little wider than warrior one. Open that back foot just a little bit wider. We're going to come into warrior two. So press down through that front foot, engage the core, lengthen the spine as you inhale all the way up into warrior two. So our hearts will open up to the long side of our mats, but our gaze will come out through the left fingertips. Now take a peek at that left knee And just keep it aligned over the ankle. Make sure it doesn't drop in. And you can do so by also putting a little extra kind of anchoring energy into the outer left foot. That'll keep that knee in a little more alignment. Spine is tall. Gaze is soft. We can flip the palms up to the ceiling, draw the shoulder blades together so we open the heart even more. You might want to stay there, maybe that feels good for you. You can find a mudra, maybe bringing a thumb and one of the fingers together without worrying about what it means, just feel it. How does it feel to you? Or you can come into traditional warrior two with the palms down. I'll leave that up to you. 3 to 4 more nice deep breaths here. In your next inhale, we're going to go ahead and lower the right arm, but lift up with the left. The front leg is staying bent. Gaze up to the ceiling if that's okay on your neck to the left fingertips. Goddess pose. And then on your next inhale, just windmill the arms all the way to the floor on either side of the left foot and step the right foot up. Forward fold. Uttanasana. And from here, step your left foot all the way back. We're going to find warrior two on the other side. I'm going to turn myself around. All right, so left foot, really anchoring in through both feet, getting into the foundation first, engage the core, and then from that stability, you can lift up into warrior two. Again, check in with that front knee. Keep that aligned over the ankle. So if it tends to drop in, press to the outer edge of that right foot. Spine is tall, so we want to be upright, not leaning into this. All right. Again, palms can be down, or if you'd like to play again, roll the palms up, draw the shoulder blades together. So we open the heart. The gaze comes out through the right fingertips. You have the option of a mudra, or palms down, traditional pose, traditional position. Breath is steady. On your next inhale, the left arm drops back, right arm lifts up, front knee stays bent. Take the gaze up to the right fingertips. Just take a couple of breaths here in goddess pose. And on an exhale, windmill the arms down to the floor on either side of the right foot and step the left foot up. So you're at the front of your mat. Hang out, Uttanasana. And then on your next inhale, lengthen the spine, engage the core. Rise up. And bring the palms together into your heart. Let's find our way into our half salutation again. Inhale, reach up. Take a hold of one wrist and exhale to the opposite side. Inhale up. And exhale to the other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, lower the arms. Inhale, standing baby cobra. And exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, come up to standing. And bring it all into your heart. Giving, receiving, even length of breath. Release the hands. Again, from the front of your mat. We'll go ahead, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Right foot steps back. Nice wide stance. We're going to bring our left forearm to our left thigh, lightly resting it there. Our core is going to keep the upper body lifted. Open the heart. Extended side angle. It's exact same foundation as warrior two. Okay, so the same placement of the knee. We're just folding the upper body. Okay, left palm up to the ceiling. Your right arm can start to reach up to the ceiling and your gaze can shift up to those fingertips. You can keep it at the hip if you need to keep the arm low for whatever reason. And the gaze can also shift to the left toes if that feels better on the neck. The other thing to be aware of is creating some space between the left shoulder and the ear. So notice if you're dropping into that, creating any tension in that shoulder or neck. So keep that spaciousness there. Keep the core engaged, spine long, and breath flowing. Again, just breathing into the idea of strength and resilience. Last option with the right arm is you could take it around behind you, take the fingertips and grab towards the inner left thigh. Just wrapping that arm around behind you. That's not available for everybody, just find your place. 2 more breaths here. On that exhale, unwind. And step the right foot up. Forward fold. Take a few breaths here. And then we'll step our left foot back. I'm going to turn myself around again. Left foot steps back, plant that heel. Extended side angle on this side. So right forearm to the right thigh, left hand to your hip. Lengthen, lift, and open the heart. Again, you can minimize the bend in that front knee if you need to. Palm up, right palm up. Left arm can extend up to the ceiling. Gaze can extend to the left fingertips. Remember, you can keep your hand on your hip. Create space in that right shoulder and neck. Core is engaged. Breath is steady. Strength and resilience. Just breathe into that, breathe into the heart, giving and receiving. And then that left arm, you do have the option again on this side to wrap it around behind you, if that's available to you. And breathe. Take 2 breaths here. Exhale, unwind. And let's press back into down dog. Walk it out a little bit, shake it out a little bit. And then lowering to the knees. And exhaling our way into a child's pose once again. Feel the echo of the practice. Rest your head where it's most comfortable for you. Pose of comfort, safety, gratitude. As you deepen the breath, allow the back body to open and make room for the breath. And we're going to go ahead and come on up. We're going to find one more pose in regards to strength this morning and also core work. So we're going to find a forearm plank. All right, so we want to bring our palms into the floor, elbows directly underneath the wrists, shoulders, excuse me. Start to walk the knees back. And we played with this a little bit, I believe, on Monday. The farther back the knees are, the harder this is. Okay, so you decide where you'd like to be with this morning, challenging ourselves just a bit. Maintaining that core strength is important for our posture, for our balance in life. So we curl the toes under. For those of you who wish, bring the knees up off the floor. Hug it all in and breathe. If you can, 3 more breaths here. Last breath. And then lower to the knees, onto the belly. Rest your head on your hands. If you'd like to, bend the knees and sway the feet side to side. Or you can crisscross them. Release in the low back. And then placing the palms underneath the shoulders, using your core, really engage the belly, your abdominal muscles rather. And then coming down from the knees, press up. And curl the toes under into down dog. Good, walking that out. And then into a child's pose. Both knees to the floor. Release all the way back to Balasana. Letting go here. And breathe. So maybe on this one it would be nice, or it would feel nice to take a wide knee child pose. Sometimes that's nice. Let the big toes touch. And let the upper body come in between the thighs. Just an option. And we'll find our way up to hands and knees, and let's come onto our backs again. So go ahead and roll onto your backs. If you have a block or a blanket, you might want to use that. We're going to come into a restorative pose in a moment. So you can fold a blanket really thickly, or if you have a block, just simply place that nearby. To begin with, let's go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. Just kind of rounding the low back. A reverse child's pose, right? Supine child's pose. We'll come in again to that Apanasana. Inhale, arm lengths away, and exhale towards you. Inhale, and exhale. And then maybe some knee circles. both directions. And then we're going to go ahead and take our blocks at their flattest level, so what I like to call level 1, or a blanket folded approximately that thick. Right? And then we're going to place either the blanket or the block right underneath the sacrum and low back. Okay, so we want to place ourselves in a position that the spine is neutral, so we're not creating a back bend. This is meant to be a restorative pose, so we're not trying to find effort here. We're trying to find a place in which we feel fully supported. We can relax into this, and just like I suggested in the beginning with the knees, you can do that same thing here where you take the feet just a little wider than your hips, let the knees fall together. Now the arms could be, or your palms could rest on your belly, and you could do the gentle belly breathing we began with. You're welcome to open the arms wide, palms up. And sometimes it's nice to actually bring the feet off the floor, knees up, or even the feet up to the ceiling. And some students I've seen really enjoy bringing the arms more overhead. So just finding that place that feels restful to you, or restorative, or comfortable, where you can let go. So this is really nice for the low back. It's supposed to benefit low thyroid. From here, finding your way back into that nice even breath if it's wandered off, and you can even count silently to yourself if that helps you, so that the inhale and the exhale are even. And you can hold for a moment or two after inhale and exhale as well. Let's take 3 more steady breaths here. We'll lower the feet, remove the item you may have underneath you, whether that's a block, blanket, or pillow. Allow the spine to come back down into the earth, into your mat, in a neutral position for a moment. Just breathe and feel the effects of that pose. Notice any sensations. Feet are hip width apart. And then we'll come into our hip hikers, sliders, hikers. So hike or slide the hips up the mat towards each shoulder. Right, left and then right. And pay attention to the knees. The movement is meant to be small. Knees are moving kind of in a scissor motion towards you and away from you, but not necessarily side to side. So just sacral releases. Bring that to center, hip pointers. Point the right hip up to the ceiling, back down. And the other, again, small. Same idea with the knees. Breath is steady. And then you can alternate between these two. Do a few hip hikers. Hip pointers. Notice if there's anything else that would complete your practice before Shavasana. Take just 1 minute here. Maybe a little hamstring stretch or maybe a hip stretch. You might be ready for Shavasana, so feel free to find your way there. Otherwise, I'll give you 1 minute here. When you're ready to find your Shavasana this morning, again, just like we began, please feel free to use any props that you'd like to, supporting your head. Maybe something supported underneath the knees. It's nice for the low back. Just notice what will allow your body to drop in, feel relaxed, supported, and in a position to receive. Receive this practice, integrate it, and to carry it with you through the rest of your day. Once you've found your position and you've settled in, find your way back into mindful breathing. Observe the body breathing. Notice what areas of the body engage with the breath. You might be feeling the air move through the nostrils. You might notice the chest rising or the belly rising with each breath in. As we deepen the inhale and the diaphragm expands, you might feel the ribcage move. Resting in this prana, life force of breath. So take a few deep breaths, allowing them to expand or extend all the way to your fingers and toes. And create a little movement, maybe wiggling those fingers and toes or stretching overhead. Slowly bringing yourselves back. You're welcome to stay on your back, or if you need to shift positions and want to, you can roll to your side. I'm going to share with you a reading this morning from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. And it's called Weakness. Our strength will continue if we allow ourselves the courage to feel scared, weak, and vulnerable. Melody Beadle. This is a prayer for the ages. In fact, it helps to define weakness in spiritual terms as any habit of mind or heart that prevents us from seeing things exactly as they are, or in their entirety, or with our entire capacity to feel. These are the blindnesses that continually keep us from truth, oneness, and compassion. We are all frail. We all make mistakes. We all fall prey to 1,000 emotions and exaggerations. But these things make us rich, not weak, if we are willing to face them squarely. In truth, it's not the tissue of our humanity that defeats us, but rather our refusal to accept who we are and to live accordingly, limitations included. Underneath it all, this blindness in its many recurring forms is the cause of most cruelty. For it is during those moments when we think we see so clearly that we break things that are irreplaceable, not even realizing they were precious. After breaking many things in my life, hearts, heirlooms, robin's eggs, I am humbled to admit that the only difference I see on earth between being strong or weak is the honesty with which we face ourselves, accept ourselves, and share ourselves, blemishes and all. So if you haven't, roll to one side. And after taking a couple of breaths there, find your way to a seated position, bringing your hands to your hearts. Anjali Mudra, uniting right and left sides of the body, mind, body, spirit. May you be at peace. May your hearts remain open. May you awaken to the light of your own true nature. May you be healed, and may you be a source of healing for all beings. Thank you for allowing me to take the seat of teacher. Namaste.